This is NDTV. And you're watching NDTV Prime. In association with Micromax. Nothing like anything.
Hello and welcome to Heads Up, wishing you a very happy Diwali. Keeping in line with the inherent spirit of generosity and spreading happiness in this festival,
we bring you a few stories of India's young social entrepreneurs and thought leaders who are doing their bit for the society, the environment and the country.
First up is the story of Roman Saini, who at the age of 16 became one of the youngest to crack the medical entrance exams and became one of the youngest junior resident doctors at AIIMS.
After this kriti, he quit his prestigious job as he felt he couldn't serve enough of his compatriots and went on to become an IS officer.
What are most people doing at the age of 22? What were you doing when you were 22?
सारी उम्र हम मर मर के जी लिए एक पल तो अब हमें जीने दो.
While a few of us are busy possibly finishing our master's degree, others perhaps start working. But Roman Saini is not your regular 22-year-old. A doctor, a soon-to-be civil servant and an entrepreneur. He says nothing is impossible if one is ready to pursue what he wants wholeheartedly.
Give me some rain, give me another chance, I wanna grow up once again. All of them gathered around my house and I was a local celebrity back then. And how come people take 2, 3, 4 attempts to clear this examination and you did it along with your 12th classes. People started looking up to me back then and this phenomenon has been escalated ever since for past month. Today was gonna be the day that they're gonna throw it back to you.
He cleared the medical exam to become a junior resident doctor at AIIMS while he was preparing for his board exams. Roman repeated the feat in 2013 and cleared UPSC, considered to be one of the most difficult exams in the country, while working as a junior resident doctor.
Of course, you need to study in a bit more detail and a bit more depth and a bit more focused study as far as the competitive examination are concerned. But if you study well for your competitive examination, I guess the boards are covered more or less. You need to just study English as another subject which is not covered in your competitive examination. So if you focus well in your classes, both in schools as well as you do your bit regularly 2 to 3 hours a day, then I think it will suffice.
Well, it was the influence of his pediatrician brother which made him pursue medicine after school. He says it was the lack of basic amenities in rural India that made him think about the UPSC.
Taking a bus to a rural posting in Ballabgarh, it was about in 7th semester, when I was in 7th semester. So there when we go, there is lack of awareness about basic medications and diagnostic facilities. People still run to so-called local practitioners which do not run on scientific and humane treatment are not given to those people. Plus there is no basic sanitation, no drinking water facilities available. Most of the time many essential medications are also not available. So I tried to contact the local administration back then, but the result was not very fruitful, so to speak. So I thought let me move into this field because as a doctor I can only touch single lives, maybe 50 lives per day on an OPD basis. But if you get into administration, and thankfully I am in administration now, and all the roads we have to walk are winding.
In addition to serving as many people as he can in his new role of an administrator, Roman also wants to share his success with all the students. He says he wants everyone to be able to do what he has done. In order to achieve it, he has launched an academy in partnership with his childhood friend Gaurav Munjal. As per Census 2011, India's student population stands at a staggering 315 million. The acute lack of educational infrastructure, fewer than required number of faculties in schools and colleges are just a few of the problems that millions and millions of students across the country are faced with. Gaurav and Roman came up with a solution. A YouTube educational channel which caters to the requirements of students preparing for various entrance exams.
While I was in the engineering college, there were certain topics I was into programming. like more than academics, I was into practical aspects of things like computer programming, algorithms and all that, and I can say that I was fairly good at those. And there were times like for a particular topic, I had like there were 2-3 people calling me and telling me explain it, but I was too lazy to go at their place. So I was like, I took my laptop, I bought a whiteboard, and I explained the whole thing on the whiteboard that this is the algorithm. I recorded it and put it on YouTube, and I sent it to them. 5 months later, people from all across the country who are studying computer graphics started messaging or commenting on that video that, hey, we saw your video just before the exams and it helped us really.
All set to join the Indian Administrative Services, Roman's example is an inspiration to pursue wholeheartedly what you want to achieve in life and to work not just towards building a career, but to try and change for good the life of others around us. With camera person Pooja, this is Abhishek Singh for NDTV.
Very well, yeah. Like that's the ground.
Very interesting story there, Kriti and Abhishek. I can tell you one thing, Bangalore sure doesn't want to be left behind. I spoke to a very interesting social entrepreneur here who has a company called Renew IT that gives the digitally illiterate the most basic thing they need to start progressing, a computer. Mukund and Raghav quit their high-profile jobs to start this company, and guess what? Theirs is a social enterprise that makes profit. How are they doing it? Here's a look. Smart cities, a completely digital India, and a big use of big data. Those are the words that the Narendra Modi government will literally be putting on the map very soon. But there is still one big hurdle they have to overcome: computer literacy and the internet. While work progresses to sort the situation out, a startup in Bangalore has taken matters into their own hands. They have come up with a platform to help end the digital disparity.
There was a big scope in India where like 90% of India didn't have access to computers. So I thought, why would we want to take away good computers and strip them apart? Instead, if we can refurbish them and give it at affordable prices to Indians, then the whole landscape would change and more Indians would have access to better technology and thereby giving them better futures.
And that's how NIT and IIM graduate Mukund and his co-founder Raghav started Renew IT in 2009. 5 years since they started, Renew IT's business is running strong. They essentially buy computers in bulk in numbers of 500 and 1000, refurbish the computer, and sell them for cheaper prices to schools, colleges, startups, and NGOs. Part of the refurbishing also includes removal of all data using a Department of Defense data destruction software, testing for functionality, replacing defective parts, and retesting. But their affordability factor does not mean that they compromise on quality.
So we sell computers from as low as 4,500 for a full computer, and when it goes to schools and NGOs, we give them Microsoft licenses at roughly 1/10 the price available in the market. So they get good hardware and software at very affordable prices. We only source computers from corporates because these are well maintained assets and they have another good 4 or 5 years left in them, and they upgrade their computers every 5-6 years once because they need better technology for the processes they follow.
The startup's main focus is the part of India not connected with digital growth. According to a study, this means about 1 billion Indians without access to internet. Their biggest deterrents? Poverty, illiteracy, and a lack of good infrastructure. Renew IT may be on the path to plug this. Despite a small team size of 7, the startup has managed to ship and sell over 10,000 low-cost computers to all parts of the country, from Orissa to Arunachal Pradesh and Uttar Pradesh. Apart from this, the startup also provides after-sales support in most areas, including small towns where the larger IT giants have zero support presence. But their journey was no easy one.
So when we started off, not many people understood what they did, and like even though I'm a IIM graduate, they said, why are you doing like a kabadi wala kind of a job, because you're buying back old stuff and then you're trying to sell them. But when we started off, our mission was to make computers affordable to everyone. So if we could take away stuff which is no longer useful and give it to people where they could make use of it, I think we would reach our purpose.
And with affordability at the heart of its operations, a typical Renew IT computer ranges from as low as 4,500 rupees to as high as 25,000 rupees, and with various degrees of specifications. The lower end specifications are preferred by schools and NGOs who wish to provide basic computer literacy. Startups, however, prefer the more expensive computers that Mukund says is being given to them at what looks like a throwaway price.
Sometimes we also get like a little higher end systems from corporates, which are end of lease because the project ended or something like that. So a lot of startups see value in these systems because they get it at like roughly half or 60% of the cost of a new one, and they need the higher end systems for their processes.
Renew IT, they're breaking many stereotypes of what a social enterprise should be. Don't go anywhere, we have more such stories on the other side of this break.